Hi everyone. Welcome to Third Wave's presentation titled Simplifying Trade Compliance, Eliminating Risk and Reducing Cost. This is actually a follow-on webinar to one that we hosted last month with Greg Cummings, Managing Director of Strix, that was titled Trade Compliance Automation, Reducing Supply Chain Risk in an Increasingly Complex and Hostile World. I'm Grant Cernick, and I'm the Director of Sales here at Third Wave. In this webinar, our goal is to provide you an idea of how you can reduce risk and cost by appropriately controlling your import and export processes. More importantly, we want to show you how simple it can be. Naturally, we will be previewing the Third Wave Global Trade Platform. First, a few housekeeping items. The webinar is going to be about 60 minutes, and it is being recorded. The recording and the slides will be emailed to you in the coming couple days. There'll be time for questions towards the end of the presentation. You're going to find that there is a dialog box in the bottom right of your interface. Please feel free to write your questions in there, and we will try to get to as many as we can. If time runs out and we're unable to answer a couple questions, we will respond to those in the email follow-up. Now, before I turn it over to our speaker, Ned Blinick, I want to quickly plug Third Wave and how we help companies. Third Wave is a software platform that simplifies the process of global trade. It enables highly effective management of a company's global supply chain by aggregating and centralizing data from various players within it: the ERP, suppliers, freight forwarders, carriers, warehouses, and customs brokers. Third Wave represents a dramatic leap forward for global trade management. Historically, GTM platforms have been expensive to acquire and even more expensive to implement, making it only accessible to very large organizations. Third Wave is focused on making its industry-leading tools accessible to everyone, including companies on the smaller end of the spectrum, with fast implementation times and low subscription costs. And while we're committed to helping our customers achieve excellence as it pertains to global trade, we're equally committed to educating the global trade community. We believe companies big and small should be striving towards excellence, and it is our job to help them envision it and push them to realize it regardless of whether they use our platform or not. So let's get to the webinar. Ned Blinick has been involved in managing global supply chains for his whole professional career, spanning more than 5 decades. He has held positions of executive leadership for importing and distribution companies, and most recently has led the visioning of the Third Wave platform as Chief Product Officer. He has been asked to speak at many conferences, including CSCO, the Supply Chain Summit, and the National Defense University in Washington, D.C., to name but a few. He has a deep understanding of what it takes to build world-class supply chains. I'm certainly looking forward to this talk, so without further ado, let's turn it over to Ned.
Thanks, Grant, and welcome everybody, and we appreciate your taking the time to spend with us for this hour or thereabouts. Today, what we're focusing on is looking at trade compliance, the risks associated with it, how they can be eliminated, and how by eliminating risks, we also reduce costs. So what you see in front of you is the curriculum or the agenda that we are going to be talking to. It might sound prosaic at times or very simplistic, but understanding the risks and the current state of trade compliance is a foundation in order to be able to understand how to eliminate them. We'll be looking at how organizations operate their trade compliance, how some organizations are strategic in trade compliance, others more tactical. What is the difference between the two? We'll be looking at how organizations can use automation, how really automation is necessary to simplify trade compliance, and we'll look at the underlying reasons as to why I say that, and what the opportunity and the benefits of simplifying trade compliance risk in terms of lowering the risk profile and costs, and then we'll take a look at what trade compliance simplicity looks like.